What measures are in place to ensure that the election can't be stolen?
So, one thing that's in place is a new, what's called a federal cause of action. Basically, we now explicitly empower a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate if they think, for instance, that a state official, the governor, has not certified the proper electors. There's actually now a way to challenge that in court with expedited review by the Supreme Court. This is something we didn't have before. For those who are familiar with the 2000 Bush v. Gore election, which went on for quite some time in legal challenges after Election Day, this didn't exist. And there was chaos, frankly, and uncertainty about which electors were going to be in place come January 6th. Would there be electors in place? And so what Congress decided to do here was define the time period where those cases have to be heard and give an expedited path to have the Supreme Court hear it so that you can't try to bog down these matters and sort of extended legal proceedings at the federal level, that eventually the matter does have to reach the Supreme Court.
Over 1,200 people have been charged with federal crimes in connection to the January 6th attack on the Capitol, which the FBI has now classified as an act of domestic terrorism. Are Congress and Capitol Police better prepared to deal with the violence or potential disruptions in this year's certification?
A lot of steps have been taken to make sure that the Capitol complex and members of Congress are secure after Election Day and especially on January 6th. One major thing that you will see this year, Congress has ordered, and the Capitol Police is in the process of constructing the same fence that you would see at the inauguration, which is there for security. That's going to go up much earlier this year. You will see that fencing up by January 6th. And so that will hopefully be a deterrent. We also know that Capitol Police has made great progress in expanding the number of officers serving in the Capitol Police. And they've also stood up an intelligence unit, which hopefully will allow them to receive and share better information with other federal law enforcement entities if something might potentially take place. That was a huge weakness and vulnerability that the Capitol Police faced in 2020, where they claimed they didn't have all the information that other law enforcement agencies had. And so those three things, in addition to what I think is just going to be heightened general vigilance, should mean that the Capitol and the Capitol Police are much more prepared. But certainly we hope it doesn't come to that.
Agreed. But if unfortunately it were to, procedurally, are there any policies or procedures in place if violence does disrupt the certification process?
If the certification process is disrupted again in Congress, I expect that they will proceed as they did the last time. I think in 2020, Congress did exactly what it should do. It temporarily recessed the proceedings, made sure that members could be gotten to secure locations. They secured the electoral votes. And then when it was safe, Congress immediately reconvened, continued counting the votes, and finished that process, even though it was quite late in the evening or early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. People were very tired. But I think Congress understands that really they have a responsibility to finish up this process in a timely manner, no matter what happens.